What's happening, everybody? The world's a better place because you are here to join us. My name is Matt Brown, and I am the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. And it is a beautiful day in late June 2025, and we're about to discuss the world of cinema once again. We did earlier in the month of June the movie genre podcast. Well, what is a movie without an opportunity for a sequel? And that's what we're
Mm.
exactly going to do. So Ryan and Jose are with me to discuss movie genres once again, this time seven new genres, and we will discuss we will discuss what is our favorite movies within said genres. And before we do all of that, before we talk about movies, before we make our case on why these movies are the best and our favorites in the various genres we're about to talk about, I just want to remind you to like and subscribe to the Productive Conversations podcast on all podcast platforms and YouTube. And don't forget to check out exclusive content regarding the show across all social media platforms. We're on Instagram at Productive Conversations Podcast, X and Twitter at ProdCouplePod. We're on TikTok at Productive Conversations and Facebook at Productive Conversations. And as always, don't forget our sponsor, Magic Mind, for having our back. And we'll discuss the great things they do for us. And before we do, I'll quickly remind you later in the show, but go to magicmind.com/PCJUNE. That's PCJUNE, PC June, for 40% of your first subscription or 20% of your first one-time purchase. So again, Ryan and Jose are with me this time to discuss movie genres and what is our favorite movies within those genres. Who's ready to get it on?
I'm ready.
Let's
Did you
do it.
see the New York Times is actually doing this like 100 best movies of all time right now?
Really?
So we can check to see how wrong the New York Times is by time.
I'm
They're on
getting
like
interested.
100 through 61 right now. Yeah, 100 through 61 they've already done, but they're doing it in batches. So we can compare how wrong they are
And this
compared
is
to
for
our
American movies or all
correct
movies?
answers. I honestly didn't read close enough to know, but the list is very American heavy, if nothing
Okay.
else. So,
You,
yeah.
well, Americans make the best films, right, Jose?
Damn right about that.
God bless.
That's right. And as we're about to head into a summer full of summer blockbusters, F1. What we got this one? We got F1. We got Superman. We got another Mission
Fantastic Four.
Impossible, Fantastic
Fantastic
Four.
Four. Yep.
So why don't we add to the mix? And I'm just curious before we go, what's your fate? What are you most excited for out of the summer blockbusters coming out?
Hmm. I won't lie to you, Matt. I'm not interested in many of these movies. I was
Mhm.
interested in Sinners, which I ended up not seeing, but like
You
that
can
one
see
that
it,
came
and you can
out,
say
and
on
I
HBO Max July 4th.
correct, yes, yes, and I definitely will be. Um, I mean, I usually end up seeing at least like one superhero movie. It'll probably be Fantastic Four. So I guess I'll go with that one simply because I know I'm gonna end up seeing it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm superhero fatigued. Um,
Me too.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
we're
know.
having
I'm
a
not
whole new
into it
volume
as
of
much. These summer Barbie and Oppenheimer, those were good. That was a good summer combo. I'm not into these summer movies as much, but we'll see. Summer's a long, 3 months.
How about you, Jose?
Hmm. I'm actually interested in seeing a movie that's currently out that I haven't got a chance to see. Materialistic.
Oh, you
I
mean
don't know if I even know that
Materialist?
one. Materialistic.
Is
Oh,
with
there you go.
Pedro
Materials. My
Pascal
apology.
and
Chris
Pedro
Evans.
Pascal, Chris
Oh, whoa,
Evans,
whoa, whoa, whoa! I've
and
heard about that
Dakota
one.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the same director
Yes.
who did Past Lives. It's her next film after that. So
Oh, interesting. I
big
like that. Oh,
expectations
and
there.
this is an American cast, right?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. What do you know? And you know what it's about, Ryan? Dating in 2025.
Hmm.
Well, yeah.
You know,
The
we can
difference
look
is
at
it's what
everything.
Dakota Johnson, Pedro Pascal, and Chris Evans.
Yeah,
So they have different problems than we do.
for sure. Even the characters they play, you look like them, you're probably
Yep.
ahead.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yes, I do want to see that too. I want to get my way in there. I got the AMC pass. I got the AMC pass a few months ago. I've only seen one movie with it
Uh-oh, you
back in
gotta get those
November.
numbers up.
No,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely.
If you
So
want to
I
pay off
will.
the pass.
Oh, I'll be making up for it. I will indeed. So, all right, let's do our conversation on movie genres. I'm going to list the genre, and we will all make our point and debate on why that is our favorite movie within the movie genre, or why it's our favorite. And then we can
Yeah.
also make fun of if we make fun of or debate if we disagree or dislike what they said. But the genres this for this film, right? Excuse me,
Mhm.
this film. Genres for this podcast: sequel, romance, crime, sports, thriller, superhero, biopic. That's our 7 genres. And let's start with it. And let's start. As this is a sequel to the movie genre podcast, it's only appropriate to discuss our favorite sequel. So let's begin once and for all. What is your favorite movie in the sequel genre? Obviously, there was an original movie, and then what is the sequel? No, not prequel, specifically sequel. I want to make that clear.
Sequel.
What is next
Yeah.
in chronological order from the first one? So, who wants to kick this one off?
Hmm. I'll do it. The
Go
Empire Strikes
ahead.
Back.
Oh
That was a good
man,
one.
I mean, I think it might be the best sequel ever made. It's better than the original. That's hard to
that's for
do
sure.
in any
That's for sure.
capacity.
That's for
And
sure.
more importantly, that movie then, Empire Strikes Back, had a movie after it, part of a trilogy, and that third movie wasn't as good as The Empire Strikes Back. They literally went
Yes.
like this, the drama curve. They had a movie, a better movie, and then a movie that wasn't as good as the movie they just made. Empire Strikes Back might be the best. It's certainly the best Star Wars movie of that original trilogy. It's
Oh yeah, it's
probably one
definitely
of the
the best one
best. It probably.
of the
I
nine.
might.
Of the nine, and the of every single one, every single theatrical release Star Wars movie, that is the best one out of
I
all
think
of them.
it is. Yeah. I mean, maybe you could like whatever. If you're a big prequel person, you go Revenge of the Sith or something. But like, I really do think it's probably up there as one of, if not the best Star Wars movie of nine. And like 9 movies is a ton of movies.
For the
You
just
know
the
what I mean?
original for the original series, and then there's so many spin-offs. Whether you
Well,
think it's
that too.
appropriate or
Yeah.
not, you could debate, but they're nowhere close.
But
Probably
yeah.
a waste of time and money. Let's be real. With only Rogue One is the only good spin-off film, in my opinion. Han
Mm,
Solo
I could see
not
that.
needed.
No.
Um, Obi-Wan Kenobi the show not needed. Mandalorian fine. You can that's
I
different.
thought. Yeah, I
Obi-Wan
thought
isn't
those two
Oh
were
what
wait,
the
fine.
hell?
I'm talking about
I
TV
thought
shows.
both those shows were fine. Yeah, the 2 shows were fine. I thought actually those 2 shows were fine. But
But Han
yeah,
Solo wasn't.
no, we didn't
No,
need a
I
Han
agree
Solo
with
movie.
you. Han Solo sucked.
Um, but yeah, just generally speaking, and also has the benefit of actually being a sequel because yeah,
Can I
technically
ask one
Clone
thing?
Wars is
Could
a
you
sequel.
tell our audience why you think this sequel is better than the first one? Like what elements of
Why
the
it's
actual film itself makes
sure,
it
yeah, yeah,
superior? Because I feel like that's discussed a lot, but not a lot of people actually say why it's better.
sure.
I have my opinions on, it, but I'd like to hear your guys first.
So some of it is just, and this is no fault of the original films. They had more money the second time around. So
Mhm.
while the first film
Same
takes
question.
place a lot of interior shots, and of course Tatooine, which is just sand, right? That's the planet that they're on for a lot of this, for a lot of it. And when you get to The Empire Strikes Back, you get to the Cloud City on Bespin. It's a much more interesting, like just scenically, it's much more interesting. They have a lot more action happening because, they've already done the Death Star. Like the conflict has kicked off in a proper way. The rebellion is actively fighting. It's no longer an idea. It's actually a conflict. Um, they introduce new characters, which add depth to everybody. So Lando Calrissian adds depth to Han Solo and Chewbacca, right? Darth Vader, while he was in the original, adds depth to Luke, with the reveal, which, in case anyone doesn't know, that Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father, Anakin, who turned to the dark side. So yeah, just the movie itself adds depth to the main characters. It also explores, I love you, I know. It gives Leia a love interest that previously had looked like it was going to be Luke. And then they had to pivot quickly when they're like, no, they're related guys. We're not going to put those two together. So it just gave everybody a little bit more. It definitely had a better setting, and I think that came down to budget. And also the actors had played the characters before, so they kind of knew how to exist within like the universe they were creating. I just think, I mean, again, it's not to diminish the first film. It's just the first film was a baseline from which to build off of, and Empire Strikes Back, they very much did build off of it.
Great, great work.
So I'm gonna say The Dark Knight because it was
Another
the
one.
best one out of the
Very
whole
good.
series.
Very good. Very, very good.
Top
With he
villain. Hmm.
with the Joker,
Hmm.
Heath Ledger's performance. I forgot who Two Face, what's his
Aaron
name
Eckhart.
was. He killed it.
Aaron Eckhart,
But
yeah.
I just think overall though, it was pretty flawless. And I part of me feels like it should have just ended there. They
Hmm.
should have never made a third one because the third one never lived up to the second one.
No.
So I
Yeah,
just
you
thought
know,
the second one was flawless.
and also just a great movie on morals. Really is.
Mhm.
Appreciate it so much more than adult. And I'll have to say here, because those are all great choices, those two, and The Godfather too. Talk about expanding on
Hmm.
something that was hard to expand on. Plus, putting the prequel elements, learning Vito Corleone's origin
Hmm.
story, the betrayal, the immense power Michael Corleone feels, and how it's just he can't go back to it. He's fucked. That amazing scene at the end when he's with family at first, always became so cold, and now he's by himself. Some great symbolism there. I mean, also flawless. Late John Cazale, he's only been in 5 movies, and he played Fredo. Five
Fredo,
movies,
yeah, if not Frodo, very
five
different.
5 movies, 5 Best Picture noms, and he has a very underrated performance in that. I'm not dumb. I'm smart. I'm smart. You've seen that? And then his death
Yeah,
scene,
I've
the
seen the
dark
Godfather
one,
movies.
excellent, excellent. Godfather 2. So no real hard debate on there. Like if you said Big Mama's House 2, or really, but I think that's the Mount Rushmore sequels. Dark Knight, Empire Strikes Back, Godfather Part 2, and Toy Story 2 completes the Mount Rushmore sequels.
Interesting. So
Really,
I
not Terminator?
Terminator 2 is up there.
Tough
Terminator
one.
2 is up
That's
there.
a tough one. That is tough.
Aliens
That's
is
a
up
good
there.
one. Okay,
I will also
the
I will
Mount
also say this is
Sextuplets. The
so,
Sextuplets.
so just to give us a tad bit debate before we move on quick. You know me, I always have a backup in case the one I pick gets taken. And my backup was Toy Story 3.
But that's the third one. That's not a sequel.
It's a sequel to the second one.
I mean, if we want to get that technical, I'm looking for the specific two, but I guess so. I don't.
If you're looking for the two, then obviously not Toy Story 3.
That's
But
why I
I
meant
think those movies
sequel.
are
I meant
close.
sequel to the original, but that was too much to write.
Gotcha.
But
Gotcha.
I'll let that
But
go
again,
on
yeah.
technicality. All right,
For another time, we'll discuss the three Toy Stories and which one is, or however many there are now, which is the best and which is not.
you got it. All right. Now let's go with romance films. You tell
Mm.
me whether romantic comedy or romantic genre, a movie about two people falling in love or not falling in love. So you tell me what's your favorite romance film.
I don't want to go first. I want to have someone else to go first.
My
Well,
favorite
go
Oh, I
ahead.
want
Yeah. No, go ahead. I
Okay,
have to
I'll
get
go
the name of it.
first. You know what my favorite romance film is?
What?
My favorite romance film no one, you two definitely haven't seen it. A lot of people haven't seen it, and I don't expect people going out of their way. But there's a French film called Rust and Bone that I had to watch in college,
Huh.
and um, I had to take a French film class, to get my major, right? Not
Mhm.
interested whatsoever, and I spent the first few weeks just bored out of my mind. Wasn't mature enough to enjoy film like I do now, but this was the first film that I got it. I got why people love foreign films, just an alternative way to hear or see a story. And this film about a UFC fighter and a SeaWorld trainer who gets in a tragic accident, loses her legs, but they come together to fall in love. Didn't know a word they said. Reading the subtitles and actually feeling the emotion due to the incredible filmmaking, and just I remember bawling my eyes out in the
Huh.
class. It was so sincere. And that made me, I think I really learned to love films for real now because I could watch anything ever since then.
Mhm.
So I'm picking that. It really challenged me as a viewer and as a human being. And again, I
Mm.
wouldn't expect you to go out of your way, but if you don't mind subtitles, it's really a powerful story. Like I said, it
Mm.
doesn't have MMA in it. There's some great MMA scenes there, but man, I really felt that film. And again, pretty powerful stuff. If you take the time and
Interesting.
chance
Yeah.
to watch an actual foreign film, you have a whole world open to you in seeing
Oh
other
yeah.
great films in the world.
There's some great foreign films. I've not seen that one, but there are foreign films that I do enjoy. I don't mind subtitles. Same with TV shows.
Jose, what's your favorite foreign film?
I
Foreign film?
Yeah.
I don't even have one, to be honest with you.
really enjoyed Parasite, I will say, which I
That's
know is like the
great.
basic answer, like everyone's
Yeah.
basic answer, but I did enjoy it.
I mean, if you want me to fuck around, I'll say the movie with the fucking mobster turned trainee or whatever.
You know which one I liked actually, Matt?
What?
The one that we watched, and Melissa hated it. One we watched for the Oscars last year, Anatomy of a Fall.
Oh man,
I
tough
liked
one
that
for a
one.
great film. But
Yeah,
Jose
I
said
liked
Amelia
that
Perez
one.
is his favorite foreign film.
Amelia Perez.
It counts. It counts. So
It does count. It very much counts. It counts twice. Oh my God. Okay, so I picked what I thought was the best one in my mind, but my heart doesn't want to say it. Matt knows the answer to this because I made Matt watch this movie at my apartment in New Jersey when he visited me when I first moved there. My favorite romantic comedy of all time, and my favorite romance film in general, because my favorite romantic comedy is Music and Lyrics. Drew Barrymore, Hugh Grant. It's just charming. It's cute. It's not too serious. It's not pretentious. It definitely could have been because it's about a songwriter and a aging pop star who collaborate together for one more song. And it's just, again, I can watch that film literally at any time. I like it. It takes place in New York because of course it does, and most of the best rom-coms do. Um, I will just say, since I am the last one to go, I wrote down as my number one choice La La Land. I like La La Land. Other Coast, far more serious, also music based. So I there's something I like music and romance when they come together, it seems. But obviously that one ends up not being a straight romance because of, the ending. I won't spoil that. I mean, it's old now, but whatever. Just watch the movie, you'll know. But no, that's not my favorite, even though it's better. My favorite is music and lyrics. And so I'm sticking with music and lyrics. The songs are sweet, the cast is sweet, the story is sweet, and sometimes you just want a sweet film to smile at.
that's right.
I actually do have a favorite romantic movie. Not
Which
thinking
one?
about it. The Vow,
Mm.
Channing Tatum and Richard Adams, I think what his last name is.
Yeah, Rachel
Based
McAdams.
on true story. Yeah, well, based on true story where homegirl getting amnesia,
Hmm.
starts sleeping, being the hoe that she is, starts sleeping with her ex-boyfriend, trying to get back with him. and then Chad Tatum was just being pulling a Ryan and still being trying to stay loyal, and it worked out at the end, even though she didn't remember him.
It's like a serious version of 50 First Dates, which also
Yeah,
includes Drew Barrymore, who is in music and lyrics. It all comes back to that film.
All
like
right.
Drew Barrymore is ugly as hell to be in rom coms.
She was like an it girl for a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Drew
I never
Barrymore.
understood why.
Yeah, she was like a big deal, I would say.
Yeah, didn't she do one with like Jimmy Fallon or somebody,
I mean,
or
maybe, but that's not why I would say she was a big deal. I wouldn't be like, oh, I did a movie with Jimmy Fallon. I'm a big deal. No offense to Jimmy Fallon. I'm not sure he's ever made a good movie.
I don't know.
Jeez. Yo, what? Also, just random breaking news just to bring up. Andrew Cuomo's thinking about running against Zohan as an independent, and then
Yeah.
him, Eric Adams.
Yeah, there's a world where there's three independents, a Republican, and then the Democrat. New York is gonna have a busy, busy summer.
Oh boy. All right. Good
Yeah.
work on there. Now tell me your favorite crime film, whether crime drama.
Mm.
Oh, that's easy.
I'll allow Buddy Cop into this.
The buddy
Um,
cop. Oh, I would have
well,
changed
this
that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
no like crime, like anything
Yeah.
obviously has to do with the world of crime.
Yeah.
Right.
My favorite movies ever. It's in my letterbox top four. The Departed, Martin Scorsese's Departed.
Oh yeah.
Nonstop action, great performance, anxious watch, but at the same time entertaining watch. Never a boring scene. Um, Powerhouse performances, generations clashing, and a whole lot of fun. Whole lot of fun with a great soundtrack and the film that got Martin Scorsese his first Oscar.
Hmm. I don't think I knew that that was his first Oscar, 2007
Yeah, after
or
already
whatever it
being in the
was.
industry for like at that point 35 years,
Wow.
right?
Interesting. Yeah, that's crazy. I would have never guessed that that was the first one
Mhm.
that got him an Oscar. Huh. Interesting. I have another dilemma. This is another one where I have the right answer and I have my answer. I'm gonna go in the reverse. The right answer, and the reason I didn't want to say it is because I said it last time, is Goodfellas. Obviously, mob movie, crime movie. I forget what I put it for in the original, but it was one of the best in the original. Obviously, it's one of the best in the crime genre, if it's one of the best in the drama genre or whatever, right? But it is not my favorite crime movie because my favorite crime movie was my favorite movie from when it came out till probably through college. People would say, "What's your favorite movie?" And I would say this movie. And it is Public Enemies, the John Dillinger movie
No, I've never
starring
seen
Johnny
that
Depp.
yet. I haven't
It's
seen that.
a it's a good
Yeah, I know
movie.
it's about with him and Christian Bale, Johnny
Yeah,
Depp.
yeah, yeah. Johnny Depp, I mean, he is
I'm
apparently
about to
like a
put that
dick or
on my
whatever.
queue.
But Johnny Depp, regardless of his personal foibles, he inhabits a character in such a compelling way. As we all know, he's got iconic characters, Edward Scissorhand, Jack Sparrow, right? So his John Dillinger, it could have been bad because it could have just been Jack Sparrow, but a bank robber from the Depression era or whatever. But no, he understood where John Dillinger sat amongst the Johnny Depp canon. Because Johnny Depp
What?
plays a very, no, seriously, he plays
No, I
most of the
agree with
time
you with that.
something specific, right? Like he's usually playing, it never feels like it's not Johnny Depp in like where the movies he stars in. Which could have been dangerous when you're playing a real person, because John Dillinger is a real person. But I think he was able to find, again, where John Dillinger, the real person, would have sat within the Johnny Depp rogues gallery of charismatic enigmas, and I think he did an awesome job. The rest of the cast is good too. I forget the name of the woman. She's in Inception though. She's in it. Plays the girlfriend or wife or whatever. Obviously, we mentioned Christian
Not,
Bale, another
not.
phenomenal
I,
actor.
at the time Ellen Page, no?
No, 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 it's different than that. It's the wife from Inception, the one who jumped out of the window or whatever. Like I literally, I'll look it up after this. I won't look it up now
Marion
because
Cotillard? Marion
maybe
Cotillard?
could be, yeah. But yeah, she's in it. And yeah, there's plenty of action. There's plenty of
Yeah,
scenes.
she
The
is.
only
She's actually in Rust and Bone. She plays the lead in it.
oh no way,
She's she's,
yeah.
she's French by trade.
That's interesting. Okay, good to know. She's great in it. And then the only negative I have with it, and I don't even remember, honestly, it's been a minute since I saw this movie, if it was actually in the movie or if it was just in the marketing for the movie. This was that time period where we made all those period pieces and we put them to Kanye West songs for some reason. You
Hmm.
know that time period of filmmaking where like we had modern music, like we did it with Gatsby too. We had modern music, but it was a period piece and I believe this fell into that category, and so that's my only negative. Again, it's been a few years since I saw it, but from what I recall, it's only negative. And as a kid, like growing up, middle school, high school, and even into college, this was what I would tell people was my favorite movie. So Public Enemies, check it out.
Just good minds is Austin Powers.
Austin Powers.
I mean, there's crime in it. Yeah,
There's
why
crime
not?
in it. You got a
There's crime in there.
spy
Yeah,
in the fucking movie. He has to go
yeah.
back. Come on, now you had to call the best crime
Does
detective in the
does he
world.
inspire you, Jose Austin
Yes,
Powers?
he does. Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. You think some of the stuff he said though would that fly today? Can they make a movie in that
Fuck
style?
no. Hell
Yeah,
You
no.
want
like when
you want my opinion?
yeah,
They
yeah, yeah.
could now. Year of our Lord 2025, as long as it's not a remake, as long as it is Mike Myers, they can make it work.
Three
That
of my
is, I
favorite
mean,
openings are from
they're
the
they're
Austin Powers movies. I love those openings. When
they're
he just
doing
makes
a
the big
naked
music number.
they're doing a naked gun again. I
Yeah.
mean, that shit's off the rails.
What it will be is they'll play with the fact that it's everyone right now. First of all, everyone is tired of the whole "you can't say anything" nonsense, right? Everyone is. Even people who are objectively okay with the idea that we have to try and be, respectful of people are like, okay, it's just so hard to know exactly what to say. So everyone's already kind of tired of it to begin with. Plus, you can be cheeky about it. You can play with the idea that everyone else has to speak, 2025, but Austin Powers, played by the original actor, will continue to be Austin Powers, and that alone will be a source of comedy.
Yeah,
He'll be a man
baby.
out of time. Right, he'll be a man out of time, so he'll make these jokes that would not fly today, and you can have people react
Don't be high.
offended. Yeah, right. So I
Did
think
we
that
shag now or
genuinely,
shag later?
right. So I think that that would be the way that you could do it. Is if it's clear that Austin Powers is the only person speaking like that, then it will be like, okay, that's the joke. He's a man out
His
of time.
name was Bat Bastard.
Yeah, that's fine. Everyone will be okay with Fat Bastard. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back.
Mhm. That
I
Get
fool,
thought
that
in
something
movie
my
about
is amazing.
excess skin
belly.
though.
That was what's it called? That's how he got the Shrek was Fat Bastard.
Yeah, exactly. He literally used the
Yeah.
same.
Get in my belly.
Classic. All right, but you know what's something you also have to get in your belly? Magic Mind. Seriously
Glad I
though,
could.
since we began our partnership with Magic Mind, and since we were introduced to this incredible product with the great ingredients, which include the matchas, the nootropics, special vitamins, I have felt so much better about myself and my day simply because I was have Magic Mind to start it off. It's small and convenient. You take your little shot of Magic Mind to start your day, and because of it, my dependency on caffeine has been significantly reduced. I only need Magic Mind to help me be razor sharp focused and feel good about the day that is to come. It doesn't cause any crashes or jitters, so I can just go about my day, not feel tired, something I do not take for granted, and it just helps with long work sessions, helps me with creative tasks, and it just helps me feel better about myself and my day. Huge, huge fan of what Magic Mind has done for us, and I know it will do things for you if you give it a chance. Right, Ryan?
Absolutely. My magic mind has been put to the test, as we've mentioned on the last few pods. My wife and I have been in the moving process, and for anyone who's moved apartments to a house or between houses, whatever, you know that there's so much packing and lifting and driving and unpacking. And so having Magic Mind was, I mean, to me, it was essential for keeping energy up because baseline, it gives you more energy. If you take it consistently, it gets your brain firing on all cylinders as well. And also, like I said, I'm always going to be a big booster for the sleep one because after a long, long night of packing and then unpacking the same box, what you need is to be able to just crash out to sleep and wake up refreshed in the morning so you can go to work and then do it all again the next night. Magic Mind helps you do that, and it helps you do that without actually making you crash out. It's not, none of it's a sugar high, none of it's anything like that. It's all natural, the nootropics, things like what lion's mane, all these things that are good for you and naturally occurring. So you get the benefits without any of those nasty side effects that you get from, some of these other things that you do to try and stay awake or get to sleep or whatever. You don't wake up groggy. Can't stress enough how much it works and how it feels like it almost feels like it shouldn't be working because like you don't feel it. You just feel better. And that's the sign of a good product. When you don't feel anything other than better, then you know you've got something good. And that's what Magic Mind does.
Huge amen to that. And if you want to experience the great benefits that me and Ryan Page feel, go to magicmind.com/PCJUNE for 48% off your first subscription or 20% of your first one-time purchase. Once again, that is magicmind.com/PCJUNE, PC June, for 48% off your first subscription or 20% off your first one-time purchase. And make sure you get that, and make sure you check out excuse me. And make sure you get that code as soon as possible because it will not last much longer. Thank you
Yep.
again to Magic Mind for your courtesy and always being the great thing to enhance our lives. I encourage you all to join the party. Magic Mind, reclaim your brain, and also check the episode description below for the discount code.
Yep.
Sports movies, guys. We love a good sports movie. You
Yep.
tell me what your favorite sports movie is after I tell you mine. The original Rocky. Simple as that. I rewatched the original Rocky this weekend.
Mhm.
With my brain I have now and emotional intelligence, that movie is so freaking profound. It's a great character. There's only 10 boxing till the last 10 minutes of the film. But seeing this guy just turn from a true loser to a true champion by just going toe to toe with Apollo Creed, it is the most inspiring movie of all time. Incredible characters, an amazing story, well shot, amazing romance in it, a true wholesome romance.
Yo, Adrian.
The 10-minute boxing match is pretty. It's what's the word? Like it's like watching old wrestling. Like you could tell, they were still figuring out how to properly
Do
shoot
all that.
action
Yeah.
scenes. Watch that compared to the Rocky 4 fight in particular. That's all carnage right there. But it's still a great match and it's still entertaining in its own way. And I mean, how can you not be inspired from that movie? Especially the, what about my prime? That scene is one of the best acted scenes of all time. There's actually a movie coming out called I Am Rocky. I think it'll be coming out next winter about the making of Rocky. And while I don't know if it's necessary, I am intrigued to see how that works. They just did a miniseries on the making of The Godfather, which wasn't good, but we'll see if this can be pulled off. But the original Rocky, that's as good as it gets. Maybe in a way, it's a little formulaic for what's to come, But since they did it first,
They did it first, so
they
they were
set the standard.
groundbreaking. Yeah, yeah, they set the bar. Well, as Matt and Jose both know, Rocky is every wrestler's favorite movie because they only know how to quote Rocky movies when talking about stories. And my
Mhm.
favorite sports movie, free association, is The Wrestler. Mickey
Yeah,
Rourke. You're gonna be sad. You're not gonna be happy watching The Wrestler. Nothing happy happens in that movie. I mean, I guess there's happy moments, but not many. Not many at all, man. He is upset. The Ram is broken and tired, and he can't stop. Partly because he is obsessed, and partly because he has no money. So the wrestler to me, I mean, it's definitely a sad one. I wouldn't take it as a date night, but it is, I think, a very good movie, first of all. Second of all, it shows a part of an industry which is sports adjacent, I understand, but we'll call it sports for the purposes of this category. And it part of a sport that people don't really talk about. We all know, I mean, we and Matt and Jose know more people, but you listener, if you're not one of our many awesome wrestling fans, you'll know people like John Cena and The Rock and Stone Cold, or if you watch us, you'll know some of the names we say, like Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes. These are guys who all work for a multi-billion dollar company making millions of dollars, right? That's not most wrestlers. Most wrestlers are not doing that. They're doing something different. It's the same, by the way, the moves are the same, and it still hurts the same when they land, but they're just getting paid less and doing it for less people. And so they're putting their bodies on the line for small audiences and even smaller pay. And a lot of times, some of the people you grew up watching and idolizing end up there too, because there's no retirement plan, right? You don't get a pension for being WWE champion. So, yeah, I think it really does illuminate that. And that is both heartbreaking and also, I would say, eye-opening for anyone who does like wrestling to be like, wow, just think of your favorite wrestler at, whatever advanced age can barely walk doing
real life
this.
Edge.
Imagine. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Edge at least works for a larger-ish company and probably gets a decent salary. But I mean, there are people, what's it, Honky Tonk Man, when he used to go on the indies after his thing, he's pretty famous from back in the day. He couldn't take any bumps. Like he couldn't. It would hurt him. He had to not fall down. They had to book matches with him in which he did not fall down. Because if he did, he couldn't get back up.
You said
And he
this is
had to
Bret
do
Hart?
that. No, this is the Honky Tonk Man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And so they had to book around that. And you get people like Abdullah the Butcher. You see his face is just covered from all of the, I mean, Sabu, who recently passed, same way. If you look at his forehead, just covered in these marks from just years and years of the hardcore wrestling, which is so popular in the indie scene. So yeah, to me, it's both a very good film, a very dramatic, obviously a very good drama film, but also an interesting look at something that at the time that I saw it, especially, I had not really been acquainted with, and now, having watched it again somewhat recently, being more in the know about that industry, it's even more poignant.
A great one. Our Truth is in it too.
Yes, he is.
So isn't that technically a Ring of Honor movie?
I mean, I don't know, because Randy the Ram is not real, right?
But
He's
the last
based on
match
a few
wasn't
real people.
wasn't
It was
Yeah,
based on
yeah,
Jerry Lynn.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it was based on a real wrestler, but Randy the Ram is not
wait,
real.
I
So
heard it was based on Jake the Snake.
it's
No,
based.
Jerry Lynn.
Here's the thing, though. In all seriousness, it could be based on Jake the Snake. It is based on Jerry Lynn. It could
Well,
be based on
uh,
so many
what's his
people.
name? What's his name? Ram. Unless they
Right?
whipped his penis out in front
What
of
is
everybody in the
the
wrestling ring.
movie? Who is
Well, point
who inspired Randy the Ram in the movie? In the
the
movie,
wrestler. Yeah.
The Wrestler, according to ChatGPT. So it says here Randy the Ram Robinson, the main character of the wrestler played by Mickey Rourke, was not based on one specific real life wrestler,
Right.
rather a composite character inspired by various aging professional wrestlers
Hmm.
from the 80s and the early 90s. Who inspired director Darren Aronofsky, great filmmaker, and writer Robert D. Siegel drew lives and careers from several wrestlers. Here is some of their influences: Jake the Snake Roberts, Terry Funk, Mick Foley, Hulk Hogan, Billy Graham. Those
There you
four.
go.
That's
But
what
no,
you'll see.
the point the yeah. Well, I mean, the main point is though that there's literally a 200 wrestlers that could be Randy the Ram Robinson. Like there is so many people who went through in like real life went through what this fictionalized wrestler had to go through with addiction, with pain, with obsession, right? Like, it is not an uncommon experience for people, especially people who had a taste of the big leagues, right? Taste of the limelight, and then they couldn't stop because they needed it for money, they needed it for ego, they needed it for whatever reason. So, yeah, who it's based on is it's literally he's an archetype of an industry that is hard to get into, even harder to get out of. And I think that, there's something the movie does a good job of displaying that, even if you're not a fan of wrestling.
My turn.
Your turn.
Mhm.
Oh, that's sports movie. It's called The Ladybug.
The Ladybug.
Ladybug. Never heard them.
Yes.
What is the
Really?
ladybug?
I've
No,
not
I
heard of
have
that one
never heard of the
either.
ladybug.
You never heard of The Ladybug? Oh man, Ryan, I put you on with another good one. If you thought Eddie was
Oh,
good.
so a little insider before you tell us what the ladybug is. I do like a process of elimination when I
Mhm.
prepare for these, and
I don't
you
even have
better
a
believe
Wikipedia page for the ladybug.
you better believe that Eddie was pretty high up there on my sports.
Mhm.
Sorry,
What
continue.
the
And
ladybug?
another where Dangerfield and the kid that off himself. God,
I
what's his
need
name?
more than that, dude.
He was a big kid. It's a '90s fucking movie
Oh,
about a
it said
kid.
ladybugs.
That's what I
No,
just said.
plural.
Ladybugs.
You said the ladybug.
Who gives a shit? You know what the fuck I mean? Just add the fucking S to it.
Anyway,
I've never seen either
okay.
version.
Let's see. Ladybugs is a 1992 American sports comedy starring Roger Dangerfield,
Oh my
directed by
God.
Sidney Fury. Dangerfield plays a Denver businessman who takes over a girls' soccer team that the company he works for sponsors. It stars Jackie Harry, assistant coach, Eileen Groff, his girlfriend, Jonathan Brandis, his girlfriend's son. That's the guy who
That's the
Yeah.
guy
acted
that kid would kill himself.
Vin-
Yeah.
Vanessa Shaw. Then, so okay, so is this? Let's see the Ladybugs was panned by critics, a 14 on Rotten Tomatoes. Vincent Canby of the New York Times said, even when the material is feeble, as it is here, Mr. Dangerfield is barely funny. The LA Times wrote, has the stale, slick, and worked over look of a standard studio product.
All right. Well, strong,
I'll
strong,
watch this
strong
movie.
sales pitch.
I'll tell you right now, it's a great movie. If you not listen to all the critics and just play the
Yeah.
fucking movie, you actually might enjoy yourself.
Critics
It's
don't like
probably
Jose's
free. It's
movie.
probably free on YouTube, and that's how
It
you know.
probably is.
Like Eddie was.
Yes. And
So
that
this
was
is
good.
Eddie
so
was
this
great. I loved Eddie. So
so
I'm gonna
this
watch it. Jose's not let me wrong. I'm not. I'm not. I didn't watch your Toon World or whatever you want me to watch
Oh,
next.
don't worry. I was
Cool
the Cool
World.
World or whatever. Fuck.
Cool World.
I
Yeah.
showed
Not.
that one
Not.
clip
Not.
from it in the group chat.
Yeah. No. Not gonna do that. But
I do have I do have another movie, sports
Okay.
movie that's a little more serious. Uh it's the Six Man with Marlon Wayans
Six
and the
men.
guy from it. The Six
oh,
Man.
like a. Is it a basketball movie?
Yes,
Yeah.
so two brothers playing basketball. Marlon Wayans' brother that was in a different world.
The
Um,
Sixth
uh,
Man.
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
97
Six Man.
sports comedy, stars Marlon Wayans and Kadeem Hardison. The film features real NCAA schools, although the rocksters are fictitious.
Mhm.
Hold up, it's not this one. This particular site's not giving me a plot, but it is real.
Of course it's real. What
Um,
are you gonna think? I'm gonna
I
give you some
believe
random
it's
fucking movie?
real.
okay, so guess how much this one got?
25.
Close, 23.
Okay, okay.
I'm getting
By the
better.
way,
I'm getting better. I
Ladybugs is
got
available for free on the Hoopla channel.
Hoopla, like basketball, is it spelled Hoop?
So Hoopla is a streaming service that is run by the public libraries of your town. You just need a public.
Oh,
If you have a library card, you can go into Hoopla and reserve films from there.
I didn't
I don't
know
know if
that.
you
That's
knew that.
well.
Not a lot of people know
I
about
didn't
that.
even know about that. That's awesome.
So the
Well,
Sixth
thank
Man,
you, the Ladybug, for that piece of information.
Yeah, we learned something new.
so the Sixth Man, a college athlete returns from the dead to help his brother's basketball team win the NCAA championship.
Oh wow. Okay, that's
That's the
something
plot.
else.
What do you mean
I
more
It's,
serious,
it's,
Jose?
I got one more. Okay, okay.
Wait.
no
Can I
no.
just read this Roger Ebert quote
Yeah yeah yeah.
review of
Oh
Let's
the
hear it.
shit.
Sixth
Let's hear it.
Man?
Let's
The
hear
Sixth Man is another paint by the number sports movie. This one about a college basketball team that makes it to the NCAA finals with the help of a ghost,
it.
one of its dead stars. Let's not talk about how predictable this movie is. Let's talk about how dumb this movie is. Like, this is a real quote. Movies like The Sixth Man are Oh my god, you hear this, Ryan? Movies like The Sixth Man are an example of level one thinking, in which filmmakers can get the easy, obvious idea and are content with it.
I'll be honest with you. I'm inspired by this movie. I'm gonna watch it.
Thank you.
So you would have to rent this one, but
Yeah.
or if you had find it deep on YouTube, maybe you could
I'll
find it.
find it. I'll find it. This one, I think he's wrong. I think there's something in this one. And
Hmm.
I'm gonna end up becoming the basketball apologist. But here's the thing, Jose, you make fun of my crazy booking. My crazy booking is the kind of mind that says, actually, a ghost helps a basketball team is a freaking fire idea. I
I'm
love
just never.
every second of that. I would watch a movie where the premise was, what if the ghost was helping the basketball team? Now, execution's important. Of course, execution's important. A good idea executed poorly is a poor idea. But
Right.
I don't believe it's inherently stupid. Well, I mean, no, it is inherently stupid. But I think it's inherently stupid in the best way to be like, what if we made a basketball movie, but to make this one different, they're helped by a ghost. It's Airbud, but they're ghosts. Ghost dog. Oh God, we've got options. We've got options.
Jose, you said you had one more.
Yeah.
Matt is like, I'm not letting you pick either of these.
Last one.
Um,
My original pick was Cool Runnings.
Oh,
Cool
good
Runnings.
movie. Good movie.
I haven't seen
Don't,
it yet, but that's
don't
the
read.
Jamaican bobsledding team.
That is the Jamaican bobsled. My mother name's Tallulah. I love that movie.
Uh-huh. So I knew I said the best one for last.
No, I don't want to hear what any critic said about that
He
movie.
probably
That's the
shit on
movie.
that
Cool
too.
Yeah,
Runnings.
I know. Yeah, I don't want to hear what anyone said about that because if they said bad things, then they don't count anymore because that's a good movie.
I do like. I see. I haven't seen it, but let me just. The Cool Runnings, a 76.
Oh, there you
It
go.
says,
That's
Cool Runnings rises above its formulaic sports movie themes with charming performances, light humor, and an uplifting tone.
Okay, that's fine. Good. I agree. Cool Runnings, good movie.
So now tell me your favorite thriller movie or suspense film. If you want to put
Mm.
that like with mystery as well, or some crime dramas are considered thrillers, but mostly
Mhm.
suspense films are the same thing, thriller slash suspense. And the one I
Mhm.
picked is Prisoners, Denis
Mhm.
Villeneuve. Hugh
Mhm.
Jackman playing and looking for his kidnapped daughter,
Yep.
with Jake Gyllenhaal playing a real asshole cop trying to detective, but so much great dynamics, very very suspenseful. You're hooked every single second of it. Paul Dano getting his ass beat again,
Ugh.
but I like Paul Dano movies, but he does get his ass beat a lot in movies. But
He
yeah,
is. He's very punchable.
really great thriller. Oh, you know what I found out? Guess
Yeah.
what? Oh, Dano grew up in Wilton.
Huh. I feel like I knew that actually.
Right.
Only because when the Beach Boys thing.
Oh, he said, I'm coming from Wilton.
No, I mean, you got. I've talked about meeting the Beach Boys on this show, surely, right?
Yeah, one of the
Yeah.
versions of the
Yeah,
Beach
one of the many versions of the Beach Boys. It was in Ridgefield when I worked at the Ridgefield Playhouse for their marketing team. And so, what was it? They had like a big, like huge gallery and auction thing, and they were showing the Beach Boys movie at the time, and the Beach Boys were playing, so there was like a
Boys. I saw
crossover
that
between
movie the
Beach
first time. Great.
yeah, there's like a crossover between like Beach Boys actual memorabilia, just kind of local stuff that's at all the things like, gift card to the little pub and all that. And then there's like the movie stuff. And Paul Dano, I think, did sign some stuff for the auction because he was local. And I think that's where I learned that.
Yeah, makes a ton of sense.
Yeah. Um, so interesting you mentioned good old Jake because I went with Nightcrawler.
Yeah, really good
And
one.
he
I haven't
he
seen in a while,
plays
but very good.
yeah, he plays a freelance photographer. And he is basically a sociopath himself, but instead of, you know,
Completely transforms as a character. Got robbed of a
yeah.
nominee. Like
And
that is
so
not Jake Gyllenhaal. That's whoever
he's
the
scary.
character
He's
is.
scary too, by the way. Scary
He
guy.
gets Riz on mid-kill literally for no reason, no remorse whatsoever.
Yeah, no. And so it was
It's
it
almost
was
kind of funny how much he doesn't care.
I remember it was my first we had just gotten Netflix, by the way. It was the first movie I watched on, I think it was Netflix. I watched this, it was like one of the first movies I watched in college. My like sophomore year, we had just got Netflix. Freshman year, doesn't really matter. I watched it super late at night because I wasn't couldn't fall asleep. Horrible decision because your heart is pounding as the movie goes along. Like it's not suspense, like oh, you know what I mean, like. But it is like a suspense and a thriller, and so yeah, Nightcrawler. Maybe some of it was the viewing experience, having watched it at 3 a.m. But it was a great movie. I did watch it later, not at 3 a.m. to make sure I fully understood what was happening and that I wasn't hallucinating some of it. But yeah, no, great movie, great performance, and definitely like creepy, suspenseful, and also, has a lot of kind of like the thriller elements because they've got, obviously he's ambulance chaser, right? There's all these tragedies happening and the film doesn't shy away from those things. So
Am
yeah.
I going?
Yeah, if you want. Yeah.
Uh, my movie. Mhm.
Also Cool Runnings.
We're gonna continue that theme. Cool running theme, and the movie's called Ma.
Ma's a
Mom,
good movie. Ma.
Ma.
Ma,
Ma.
Ma.
M.A. Great movie. Horror.
Ma.
I kind of put that more with horror than thriller, but it is kind of both. It's very suspenseful as well. The great movie.
One
My
of
What's your
my
second.
name?
My
favorite
my
things.
second. My second pick is Wild Things for
Uh,
the because they had the first threesome at theaters.
I
So
don't remember. I don't remember that one.
Wild
So,
Things with Nev
Wild
Campbell.
thing.
Wild Things.
Wild
Nev
from
Campbell.
'98.
well,
Paul is a
Ma's
high
good.
school guidance counselor in South Florida who is accused of SA by two female students and a series of subsequent revelations after a police officer begins investigating alleged crimes. This sounds depressing as hell. It
Yeah,
says
what the
here,
heck are you sharing here?
it does say cult classic.
Okay, well that's good then.
Wow, yeah, it's a great. If you want to check out a threesome between Denise
Yeah, that's
Richards
expensive
and
stuff. I guess it is
So,
that.
good. Wild Things is a delightfully salacious, flesh-exposed romp that also requires a high degree of love of trash cinema. It's got a 76.
I think that describes Jose. That was just a description of Jose as a person. But no, in all seriousness, man, if you haven't seen Ma, you should see it. It's good.
Tell
I
you,
like Ma.
Spencer, I like it.
Yeah.
The Roger Ebert, 3 out of 4 stars. He says
Um,
he praised the director and the plot twist. He described it as, quote, lurid trash with a plot so twisted they're still explaining it during the closing titles. It's like a three-way collision between between a softcore sex film, soap opera, and a B-grade noir. I liked it.
That might be one of my favorite
You're,
reviews ever.
you're welcome,
Just
guys.
trash the whole thing and then be like, but I actually kind of liked it.
What was that, Jose? So I guess you got that one.
You're welcome because my original pick was Speed, but then I was like, that's not something
That
I
one's
would
not
just say.
fun.
Yeah, of course, I had to get something outside the box.
Ryan, would you watch Wild Things now after that review?
I would. I would watch
Here you
Wild Things.
go.
That one's not, but that one sounds like it's genuinely actually like a film that people should watch. I'm focused in on the ones that Jose says that no one else besides Jose has watched. Those are the ones that I want to watch. I mean, I know Matt had also seen Eddie, but you know what I mean? Like the ones that are forgotten. I want to see the forgotten films of Jose and
That
Psycho.
is definitely forgotten. But it says cult classic here, so I don't know.
That's what I mean.
Works?
So that can't be forgotten if it's a cult classic. But the other one is the Six Man. That's a forgotten film,
Well,
and
I
I'm
just
gonna watch
remember.
that.
I remember when I was in high school and that movie came out,
I'm gonna watch that.
and it was like the first time I really figured about threesomes because I didn't really thought
We're
about
back to
threesomes
that movie.
You didn't know
until
what a
Wild
threesome
Pigs.
was.
No, I never talked about it. Nobody ever talked about threesomes before until
It
and
doesn't.
then
Yeah, it
just
doesn't come up very often. That's true.
right. So
I'm with
when
you.
it finally came out, though, like the taboo publicly came out, and then
Mhm.
this fucking door fucking burst open where everybody talks about threesomes and want threesomes when this fucking movie came out. It was like two hot bitches and one dude. Like, fuck yeah. I'm like, that's something I want. So
It was a
Interesting.
box office hit according to this too.
Interesting.
It has Matt Dillon, who bro just
and
fell
Kevin
off,
Bacon.
and Kevin Bacon. I like Matt Dillon. I feel like he could have like a Brendan Fraser comeback. Like he was in a lot of big deal movies, and I haven't seen him.
Hmm.
That's always an interesting. Like the true former A-lister, like was actually in the A-list and then disappears.
Yeah, it
What
doesn't
your
happen a
favorite?
lot, but it does happen.
We have Matt Dillon. Who else would be on that list?
The A-lister disappeared.
Yeah, like they were in the A-list, and then you don't see them anymore.
Hmm.
It was a hot second. I would have said Tom Hardy, but he's in a new movie now.
Nah, he's. I think he's
He
still
fell
okay.
off.
He fell off, but he's not gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he hasn't
No.
disappeared. Brendan Fraser was definitely on that.
Yeah, he was for sure. I don't know. Like, it doesn't happen at all, really. Like,
Let me get. Who are some A-listers? Who are some former A-listers? A-list actors who you don't see anymore. Let's see what ChatGPT has to say. Brendan, they have Brendan Fraser here, but that's mean. So we got the people they gave me: Cameron Diaz,
yeah, she counts.
Yeah, but she
Freddie
kind of
Prinze Jr.,
retired. Was it?
I
It
know, but
wasn't.
she still counts.
Freddie
She was an
Prinze
A-lister
Jr.
who's not there.
He become a wrestling
A-list?
producer.
He never became an A-lister.
He was never an A-lister.
He
I
was
feel
in
like
a he was
that's
a Team Heartthrob. It says here,
yeah,
Team
but that's not.
Heartthrob, big
No,
movies in the late '90s.
I don't count him. He doesn't count. I've decided.
Okay, Meg Ryan,
That
Taylor
cheating
Lautner.
scandal fucked her up.
Taylor Lautner, I think was an A-lister. Wasn't he only in the one movie?
Oh, definitely. When he was a big deal when we were teenagers.
I
Like,
guess Twilight was a huge movie, right?
yeah,
Twilight, and then he had two star in rows, and both of them flopped, and that
Yeah,
was
and then
it
he
for
was
his
gone.
career.
Yeah, I know that. Now he's married to a woman named Taylor, and so they're both Taylor
that's
Lautner.
weird. That's
No,
fucking.
it's funny though because they have a TikTok and they're actually pretty popular on their TikTok.
It
So there
says
you
Eddie Murphy for a while, Lindsay Lohan,
go.
but she could. She's had Freaky
She's
Friday
back.
2's coming out this summer, so this is a chance for a comeback.
Oh, that's not happening. Come on.
Lindsay Lohan, I think, is immune. I think, and she's still Lindsay Lohan. That doesn't change. She may not be an A-lister anymore, but she's immune from
This
falling
was
out
up until
completely.
recently Josh Hartnett, but he was in the.
Yes, 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 yes. I was
He got
thinking of him,
he got a new movie coming out. You know that's definitely gonna flop.
but I was thinking Hartnett actually. Genuinely, there was a name because he's in the movie with Harrison Ford, right?
Hollywood Homicide.
Yep, love that movie.
There you go. So those
Apparently,
are
apparently Harrison Ford hated him in that. Like, it does not like him. Apparently, that's what I heard anyway. Harrison Ford hates him, and that's really funny to me.
and we got Cuba Gooding Jr.
Well,
Well,
that's all that
that's because of
fucking
the stuff
rape
that he did.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then we said Meg Ryan already too, right?
yeah. We said Meg Ryan.
Elizabeth Hurley definitely should be on that list.
What the hell is
Who's
she?
that?
Elizabeth Hurley,
Yeah, who is that?
the British girl that went out with
Was that
fucking Hugh
Did
that's
she
Grant.
do?
Austin Powers? She's the first Austin Powers girlfriend.
Yeah.
What did she
She
do
did
besides date Hugh Grant?
she did Bazaar with Brendan Fraser, that devil movie.
Well, there you go. That's probably part of
She
the problem.
she did she did a couple of movies. She was a like it girl. She was fucking hot and British.
Hmm.
She
Interesting.
now her big thing now is she went out with Pete Davidson and now she goes out with Miley Cyrus' dad. So that's her
That's
claim to
good.
fame as a movie. Yeah.
How about one person who would you say one person who is about to make a comeback? Rick Moranis with Spaceballs 2.
Spaceballs too. So excited for that. I love
Yeah, but
Spaceballs.
I'll be honest with you. I never feel like it's a comeback. Everybody loves him. Like everybody
Yeah,
found like anything he's in,
he did
everybody roots for
disappear.
him.
He did disappear though.
Well, I get why he
Genuinely.
dis. I mean, I guess it's everybody understood why he disappeared after his wife passed, and he
Right.
decided to
I got
walk
you.
away to raise his kids, and everybody thought that was super admirable
It
and shit.
is though.
So, which it is, and now it's like you can't hate this.
No,
I'm a
you'd be
dick,
yeah.
and I can't hate on him. I'm like actually fucking admire like that he gave up millions and millions of dollars just to raise his kids
No,
and
I mean
stuck
it's a
to it.
lot. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The
They
Spaceballs
put
too. I'm
here
very excited
also
about.
Kim Basinger.
But that bitch Zoe, she had nothing. Like even when she came back from 8 Mile, she did 8 Mile and got a little thing. She was looking kind of and what she
Anyway,
used to be.
And also Judge
anyway,
Reinhold for the 80s.
The one that you know who fell off, Russell Crowe fell off.
I
that's
mean, he's in stuff, but he
He's
yeah.
fell
in
off.
He's still
stuff.
around.
But he fell off in the sense that he's not an A-lister. Like when you think of back in the day, you would think Russell Crowe movies. He's like, oh, you gotta see that. Like during his
No,
Gladiator
yeah, you're
days.
right. No, you're right. Yeah.
Now he's in fucking guest roles and like Superman's dad for like the 10th time. Nobody gives a shit about him.
Well,
He's just fat
he's
and done.
older. He's older now.
Talk about
And you know who else?
Superman.
Another one. Who's the guy from 300? That dude.
Gerard
He's like,
Butler.
yeah, Gerard
Yeah.
Butler is another one. He
He's
was like
another one.
doing,
Yes.
yeah,
He
he
was
did
in everything for
Rom, yeah,
like he was in
right.
everything for like 4 years and now he's not in anything.
Like the only thing he does good is the fucking movie Cuban Gooding Jr.'s son was, and that's it. Like they're gonna do like 10 of those movies because that's the only thing that he makes money on.
Yeah.
Nah, I like a lot of Gerard Butler movies, but
I
that yeah,
do
he's
too,
falling off.
but
Anyway, moving on.
Superhero movies, the genre that took over the last decade. Slowed down a little bit now, but still, we obviously talked about some examples in this podcast of it still going. Even though
Yeah.
I do think those are two movies worth seeing. Some new, fresh takes on, Fantastic Four and Superman, especially Superman. If they can't get this right, don't do it. Superman movies, don't do it. You
No
literally
more. Yep,
this
he's done.
you can't do it again if this is
I
bad.
wouldn't blame Superman. I think it's James Gunn's first fucking since taking over DC's his first movie.
Superman
So
is
there's
such a hard movie.
Yeah,
It
it's
just
Lex Luthor,
is.
so Lux Luthor. It's just because he's perfect. Where's the conflict?
Right. Well, that's what I mean. It's like, honestly, Superman as a literary figure is much easier because you have more space. You can
but
talk about the way, the things, the inner things that he's battling. But externally, which obviously films are based primarily on external conflict, there is no external conflict for Superman. He is invincible. He
I
cannot
disagree.
die. He cannot lose. There's no stakes because I mean, their stakes are other people. Obviously, there are ways to give it stakes, and that's why I hope they do. But I think as a literary character, he's fascinating because what if you're impervious to everything? You're going to live forever, but the people around you are not. And you have you could end the world, but you're decided to save it. Like he's a cool character when you write him down, but then when you try and watch a movie about him, you're like, I
I
don't know.
disagree because if you look at the Christopher Reeves movies, that's why they're so beloved. They're good. I just think nobody, when you're being compared to Christopher Reeves, because if you think about, it, you had the
Those
uh,
movies, those movies were
for
fun.
back in the '80s were good, but
Yeah.
then you try to bring them back twice, and they both were trash. All of them were trash because they compared to Christopher Reeves.
So, well, I'll say this: Henry Cavill wasn't a
Henry
horrible
Cav
Superman.
Henry Cavill was a great looking Superman. Did the movies live up to it? No.
No, but
Superman wise,
I
he
saw Man
is
of Steel, I believe.
perfect.
I think though, as much as it was a bad movie for other reasons, and it was a bad movie.
Man of
Let's
Steel
talk
When
was
about Man of
good.
Steel.
no, hold on. Once they gave him a foil that actually we A cared about and B wasn't impervious to everything but Superman in Batman, the character got more interesting. The movie wasn't good. The Superman and Batman was not good. However, the Superman character got much better in that movie because we were seeing, a different perspective on him from a person who is far more relatable to an audience in Batman, who is just a dude with, a car. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Superman's hard for me. I'm with Matt on that. It'll be hard to do, but hopefully they do it.
I saw in the press conference. This is a tweet cap that is ended up on the dining room floor, the dining room, on the cutting room
Cutting room
floor.
floor, yeah.
Somebody named their kid Kal El,
Hmm.
and they were trying to. This is why I think the movie will be trash. And they were making it such a big deal, and like trying
Hmm.
to make it like, oh my God, it's a real life Kal El. Please join us in doing this. I'm like, your parents named you after a fucking alien.
I
Are you
mean,
kidding me?
how many people name their kids Khaleesi though?
And they're stupid.
Because you think that some people may call their kid, name their kids Jesus. Some make believe shit.
At least Jesus, you could go
We
with
don't know
Jesus
Jesus
and
really
like
exists.
No, Jesus, by the way, he did.
Jesus is real. He did deserve. He
He
was.
was factually there. What the other stuff is the part that probably.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but like yeah, I get that. A little
exactly.
magic mind shit he does. I get it.
Yeah, that's the bit that people are a little bit less agreed upon.
Well,
But the
Because I
dude,
right.
don't mind people being named Jesus, but Kal El,
yeah.
he's literally Kal El like Johnson. Like, come on. He's
Has to
literally
be
Kal
Cal
different.
L. Johnson. Oh God, we haven't even mentioned the movies. Well, we've just been, crapping on the Superman movie.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
We
fine.
said superheroes made fun of Superman the
Superhero.
whole
There's
time.
realistically superhero movies, but like not. There's only one
Hmm. I feel
like
like we all
Yeah.
true
have the same
winner.
one.
I think
We
that
all
We
have
there's
the
no
all.
same.
way we can all disagree. Endgames is not the one.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
I was gonna
We
say
can
Dark Knight.
disagree. It's Dark Knight. Yeah.
Oh
That game's
Jesus!
great though. Okay, let's
It,
go.
it's Dark Knight. You said Dark Knight earlier.
Yeah.
Dark Knight sequel, bar none, is flawless. Yes, story,
We
but
said Dark Knight was
you
like
mad at
that last week.
it's
It was the
flawless.
best drama or
It's
action
the
or
best.
whatever.
Yeah, but I didn't say best superhero movie.
It's about Batman. What do you
Okay, a
mean?
billionaire puts on a fucking mask. I could do the same shit. That doesn't make me a fucking
Are
superhero.
you saying Batman is not a superhero? Is that the stance you're
No,
taking?
goddamn, there's a fucking crazy guy in the bat that's a
Oh
billionaire
my
that
God.
has mommy daddy issues. Does that make it? What superpowers does he have?
He's just a superhero because he's
What
not common.
super?
What are you
Okay,
talking
there has to be a
about?
superhero. He needs to have
This
superpowers.
is an insane argument,
What
Jose.
superpower he has? Besides,
So
he wearing a
the so
fucking. He has millions of dollars.
so
Anybody can do. Elon
the
Musk
Batman
can do be a fucking Batman if you want
so the Batman movies in your mind are not superhero movies. None of them.
No, it's a fucking crime movie. Can I
Like
ask you,
his
Robert
literally
Pattinson
name's
Batman?
Batman.
Listen, Robert Pattinson Batman. Is that really a fucking superhero movie?
Yes, by
Yes,
default.
because
Oh,
he's
God
Batman.
damn it! If you really, what the fuck did he do
That's
in
why
that
Kick-Ass
movie?
is a
That made
movie.
a
He's
God
Batman.
damn. You
Batman
guys are
is he's just Batman. He's a
That's why
superhero.
you
Kick-Ass is a
guys are
Batman's a
superhero movie.
crazy.
superhero.
Jesus Christ!
This is an insane argument you're making. I thought you were gonna have a real argument, not oh no, he's just not a superhero.
Listen, listen. The Endgames is number one in superheroes because everybody is emotionally invested in this motherfucking
Okay,
movie. For God's sakes,
what about
when Twitter first started,
oh, to continue. Oh,
I'm saying everybody that saw that movie were emotionally invested for probably 10 years to get to that ending, and
okay, but
everybody went crazy, especially when what's his name came back.
I'm honestly not even at that part yet. I'm still on the other bit. So, like in the Batman movies,
Oh
when
Jesus!
when the
Look at
bad
this.
guys have powers, like Poison Ivy or Ra's al Ghul, when they have powers, are they supervillains because they have powers?
Can I ask you a question? The
No,
Penguin.
no.
What?
Don't
Okay,
ask me a
no,
question,
no,
answer
they
my
don't. They
question.
don't. Look, that's why they
Poison
don't get
Ivy doesn't
Poison
have
Ivy.
powers.
When the fuck Poison Ivy is in Super? That's why fucking Batman 3 is the worst fucking Batman ever. Right up there with 4
Worse.
Okay, but
because it's
Wait.
stupid.
Which you're talking about Batman Forever?
Batman Forever sucked as bad as number 4. Yes, it's one of the worst Batmans.
but
Can we not?
that's
Are we disagreeing that?
no,
Why?
we're
Because
not even
fucking
disagreeing. I'm
Poison
just
Ivy is not a super fucking power.
she could literally brainwash people with
Guys, I got great news, by the way. I
what's
have
up?
great breaking news.
Let's hear it.
The new James Bond movie might have found his director.
Oh.
And if this is from Discussing Film, the actual one, not the
Yeah, the not the parody.
though the studio hasn't announced it yet.
Mm-hmm.
This is his statement, so I don't think he would make this up.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we won. We won as a society. We won as film fans.
Mm-hmm.
If this is true, the quote is, quote, some of my earliest movie-going memories are connected to 007. I grew up watching James Bond films with my father ever since Dr. No with Sean Connery. I'm a diehard Bond fan. To me, he's sacred territory. I intend to honor the tradition and open the path for many new missions to come. This is a massive responsibility, but also incredibly excited for me and a huge honor. This is from the new Bond, assuming this isn't a made up quote from a very trusted source, probably the number one film news source on X.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis Villeneuve as the new James Bond director.
Ah, that'll be good. Yeah.
Bro, that'd
He does
be
like the bit.
incredible.
Yeah, he
That's
does like a lot of
amazing.
stuff that would, the big scope too. No, I can see that. I like that.
That's a great pick right there. They're about to do Dune right now, Dune 3. So I guess that
Yeah.
would be after that. Like of Prisoners I just talked to you all about.
Hmm.
We got Prisoners, Sicario,
That's it. You
Arrival,
just this is
Enemy.
about. Is this about the director? Who's the
Yes.
director?
Director. Yeah. Yeah, the
Oh,
director.
I thought you were gonna name me who the fucking new Bond is. I didn't
They
give a
already
shit
named
about the
him.
director. Who is he?
I don't know. Some dude.
No, there's a
Right?
rumor about that black guy and then
Yeah.
Sam
I
Taylor
thought that was a
Johnson.
rumor. See,
Oh, I
No,
thought that
the
was
new
happening.
Bond. No, the new Bond hasn't been confirmed yet.
Oh,
right.
gotcha. So hold on.
And yeah,
So you think, Jose, that Killer Croc from the Batman,
Oh Jesus,
he's part crocodile. That's not a supervillain.
homie. No,
All right. This is a crazy conversation. I'm just
homie
gonna
it's
can't.
like
so we
saying
all
James Bond's not a spy film.
right, yeah.
He's a
It's a cop.
detective film.
It's
It's
a
a
cop
cop
film,
film.
right. Yeah.
Batman. Can I ask you a question? Batman.
I
Where did Batman come from?
Gotham. I don't know.
No, no. His comic books. Did they come from? What was his first comic book appearance in?
in DC Comics, whatever
Yeah,
number that
Detective.
was.
It's called Detective Comics #1.
Okay.
Detective Comics. He was never made to be a fucking
So
superhero.
is Superman not a superhero? Because he was in a DC comic.
Yeah, but he was never in Detective Comics. It was plain Superman was
Yeah,
superhero.
we're playing silly here. So me and Matt got it right. Somehow Jose got second, and he's pressing hard that somehow the best
I'm
superhero
not
movie isn't
pressing
even
hard. You
about a
picked a guy.
superhero.
I just asked you, literally asked you a superhero movie,
But
and I asked you what's
since
his
yes,
superhero power,
so
and
the
I can't get not
since
one answer.
right since I want all three to have different answers, I am gonna go with my backup since Matt also went with Dark Knight, which is the correct answer and is obviously a superhero movie. In case anybody was confused by what they just heard, I'm going with The Incredibles. Great movie. I talked about it last week. It wasn't the one I picked last week for animated, but it was up there, and it's a great film. It's a great
You know
animated
what?
film. It's a great superhero film.
That's a great pick. You want to know why? Because that's they had superpowers.
It does. You know what? It sure
Yeah.
does have superpowers. And so yeah, I'm gonna go say The Incredibles just because I want all of us to have
Thank
a
you.
different answer officially. So we got Incredibles, Endgame, and The Dark Knight. Three incredible superhero movies. All three of them.
Last
Crazy.
subject, last genre, everybody. Tell me
Yeah.
your favorite biopic. Mine is the film Lincoln. For a movie on paper that could
Mhm.
be boring as hell, that movie somehow created so much spark, actually gave the stakes of what obviously was on the line passing the 13th Amendment. Daniel Day-Lewis, an Irishman, being able to be Lincoln, like you actually think that's Lincoln right there. What
Mhm.
an accomplishment. And especially that last scene that apparently was real, was from the real transcripts of
Mhm.
the final meeting before the vote. You know, the what's it? God, I gotta do it. The
The
exact thing he said.
Emancipation Proclamation?
No, no, no. The
Oh, Gettysburg? I don't know. I'm trying to think of what you're
no,
talking about.
no. We don't see those in that movie.
No, I know you don't. That's why I'm trying to figure it
It's
out.
more about the quote of what he said.
Oh, okay.
With um, God, it's one of my favorite lines in the movie. Um,
Lincoln was a good movie, by the way, while you're looking that up. I feel like I saw that with you, actually, Matt, in theaters.
Probably abolishing
Yeah.
slavery by constitutional provision settles the fate for all coming time, not only of the millions now in bondage, but of unborn millions to come. What a line.
Mm.
Petty
He's
Foggy's
right, too.
Tammany Hall hucksters.
No, Lincoln was definitely on my list. It didn't make my top two, but it was in my list. I was considering
Oh
Lincoln because
no,
that was a
but
good
my
movie.
favorite line, I was just reading the lines over the quote. This is my favorite one. He says, I'm the President of the United States, clothed in immense power. You will procure me these votes,
Hmm.
which was a legit thing he said.
I believe that. He was a very commanding man, super tall. They have a lot of his stuff here in DC. If
Hmm.
you ever come to the History Museum, he's a big dude. Like he was not small. He could probably, yeah. His hands were the size of freaking like sledgehammers, dude. He was tall. Anyway, it was a lot. Apparently liked guys, allegedly. If you look into that, that's a whole side plot of Lincoln that he may be bi or something. It's interesting.
Well, that
Um.
wasn't featured in the.
I mean, I have no
It
idea,
was
to be
different.
clear. This is literally me passing off what I heard as fact on a podcast. Could totally be made up. But I am going to go, for this last one, I'm going to go with my heart and not my head. And I'm going to say A Beautiful Mind.
I haven't seen that
Ron
one yet.
It's Ron Howard. It's the
Yeah.
John Nash story. I watched it in high school as a part of my AP psychology class because it does an interesting job of depicting mental health and mental illness. Um, and its character is based on a real guy who was really a genius who was losing his mind. And so it's a very interesting kind of film. It's Russell Crowe, so Jose. We it was kind of fun connection that you previewed my Russell Crowe
I
before that.
haven't I haven't seen the film, but I seen like one 30-second snippet where basically he
Hmm.
was breaking down trying to get a girl's attention at a party. And it
Yeah.
sounded so brilliant and so simple.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't intense math, but the approach was again I haven't seen the movie, but
And
you know
that's
what I'm talking about?
I do. And the thing with just I mean the real life person as well, not just in the movie, is I mean he was a mathematician, but he wasn't like I don't want to call us dumb, but the three of us, relatively speaking, certainly are dumb. And
E equals
uh,
MC squared.
sure, but like when we think of math, we're like, well, you take these two numbers and then you make a different number based on those two numbers because that's how it works. Like there are people who are so good at math that it goes from being math to like being like logic and reasoning. Like it goes from being like addition, subtraction, division to like cognitive thinking. Like there are a lot of philosophers who are like also mathematicians. This is basically what I'm trying to say. Because if you're like that, if you get like to that level, like you're doing like metaphysical math and stuff like that, and all the
Why
stuff that
is
I,
one
yeah,
plus one equals two?
kinda essentially. And so like and this guy was that it was that way. Like he viewed the entire world as like these weird formulas and things. Um, but also he was again he was sick. Like he was losing his mind. And so I it's kind of interesting to see like genius or madman. Answer was both. And I really like that movie. I will just say quickly, we won't get into it. I also like the movie Amadeus. That was the other one I was considering.
Yeah,
But I personally
I want to
like
talk about
watching.
Amadeus.
We can talk about Amadeus, but I personally like watching A Beautiful Mind better. It's a movie that for whatever reason, no, not particular reason, resonated more with me. I find myself thinking about that movie more than Amadeus, both of which I saw for the first time in school, by the way, which is interesting. Um,
Which class you saw Amadeus in?
I was in college, music
Oh,
class.
I love how the movie is just basically a jealous ass dude movie. He's just
What's
so
his name?
mad. This guy is so much better than him.
Salieri.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I like that one scene. They're sitting at the piano and he does the simple chord, dun, 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 dun,
Hmm.
right? He's like, well, wait, why don't you try duh, 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 duh? And then actually go duh, 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 duh. And then he has a whole song
Hmm.
written out of it. And then the facial expression of F. Murray with Abraham.
It's yeah, and it's interesting because it's like so you obviously you have the jealousy of two professionals. I think it is important for people who don't know that
And how
Salieri,
non-serious
yeah,
Mozart was.
yeah, but it's I think it is important to know that Salieri is not a slouch. Like he also is a very well accomplished classical musician, and composer of his time. Like it's not like oh some schmuck was upset because he wasn't a savant. Like Salieri was at the top of his industry, and then some dude shows up younger than him, is doing it with a smile and with a laugh, right? You also have their different backgrounds, right? They're different like ethnic backgrounds of with Italian and German. And at the time, that was, there was a divide in music based around that. The way that they wrote music and the way that they saw music, frankly, were different. And then also, yeah, there is just the timeless story of this, sitting next to a Mozart and not being Mozart and feeling kind of bad about it because this kid is literally better than you and he just showed up. But I do think it's interesting, like if you know about Salieri, that he himself was also a composer of some renown. It goes from just a guy jealous that he's not a savant to a guy who knows he's one of the best doing it and he can't keep up with this kid who just showed up out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
like that that adds like a whole layer. It's one thing to be like I'm no not Mozart. It's another thing to be like I thought I was Mozart and then I met Mozart. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
that to me like that adds a whole extra layer to Amadeus, which I do really like. But yeah, still going Beautiful Mind for my pick.
Good one. Now, Jose, what's your biopic?
Um, let's tough one. I had two of them. I gotta pick one. Let's go with
Pick them
Alexander.
both. Alexander.
Like the great?
Yeah, Alexander the Great.
Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
Okay.
You haven't seen that one, Ryan?
I have, but I just
That's
was
the
surprised that
Oliver
anyone.
Stone one, so you know it wasn't
Yeah.
true.
No, I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. I'm just surprised that someone said it for best biopic.
Or my second, it was either debating that or a movie called A Better Man that recently came out last year.
A
I have not
better
seen
man.
I've not seen A Better Man, but I am fairly confident it's a better film to have picked than Alexander.
Who's in
Maybe.
a better man? A better man. Who's in a better man?
It's a biopic of
Oh, the
uh
monkey, the freaking monkey one, isn't it?
Oh, you're
yeah.
talking. We talked
The
about
But
that
freaking
shit.
monkey one. That I was like, I know that movie. Why do I know that movie?
Want to hear? Guess how much Alexander got, Ryan?
How much?
Ready?
Yeah.
15.
Even I don't like that one. Can I just say something? I think I said this in the episode we talked about that freaking monkey movie. I thought it was Rob Thomas.
Yeah.
And I was gonna watch it because I was like, why are they making Rob Thomas a monkey? That doesn't make any sense. Also, why are they making a biopic of Rob Thomas? Then I found out it's some dude I've never even heard of from the UK.
This one, it says the contestants for Alexander. Even at nearly 3 hours long, this ponderous, talky, and emotionally distant biopic fails to illuminate Alexander's life.
I can't believe that
think you
freaking
guys should.
monkey.
I think you guys should watch them, both those movies, and,
I've seen
give it a second
Alexander.
chance. I think you should give it a second chance.
I'm more likely to watch the monkey movie, I think. That's wild that you brought that movie. I was like, why do I know that movie?
All right. Thumbs up. Thank you so much for the hospitality. We'll see you all very,
Thank
very soon.
you.
Check us out on Friday with a brand new tweet cap to take you into the weekend, and then we'll take some vacation time all night
Yes.
tomorrow. We'll see you all very, very soon. Thanks again.
Have a good night.
Yeah.